Well, let's take the MTN8, wrap it up quite nicely, put it into the history books where it belongs, and unwrap another cup competition that's coming up. We've had the Carling Black Label Knockout last 16 draw most recently, and exciting times. As soon as one's done, we look forward to something else here in South Africa, which is great, of course, moving in towards the festive period. But let's firstly talk about the draw and get your breakdown of the draw, Shane.
I've been watching draws over the years, and this is the best way to do a draw. Obviously, you got your seeded 8 and you got your unseeded 8. Funny enough, there's a big club that was in the unseeded 8.
It makes things all the more interesting.
Makes it even more interesting. I'm talking about Chiefs. Looking and hoping not to draw some of the bigger teams, but I like the way they did it. What they did is they take out the A, the seeded draws, put it in box B, take one from C, the unseeded, put it in box B. Those are the two that play each other, but they draw who's going to get the home ground, who's going to get first home tie, the home tie. So I think it's brilliant. I think all draws should be done that way.
See, the brilliance of one of the big sides being on the opposite side of the draw, so to speak, but we speak of Kaizer Chiefs in this case, is that it's made up for maybe the game of the draw. SuperSport United against Kaizer Chiefs, that's something to look forward to.
Great game to look forward to. And the Chiefs guys will now really be tested. SuperSport are always one of those teams that give them a hard time.
Gave Pirates a good test in the MTN.
Exactly. So going into this, and Gavin would have more time to work with his players, looking at bringing one or two other players in. So you would have had more time. Going to be a difficult hour for Chiefs.
Another fixture that I thought was rather interesting, Mamelodi Sundowns, because it is Sundowns, yes, they want to improve in this cup competition. But Golden Arrows have had a rather interesting start to the season where for 2 weeks they were up there with the very best of them in as far as the league. Your thoughts on this fixture?
Arrow's been inconsistent this season for some reason, but I look at it, Sundowns have now got the opportunity to have a look at it and say, well, let's win this trophy. They always seem to struggle in MTN8 for some reason. I think they'll be up to it in this game against Arrows and get the result there.
Pirates up against Magesi, Amazulu against Stellenbosch. I ask you this to ask you, do you see maybe a big upset anywhere in this round?
A great start from Magesi. They must be licking their lips. So they're going to get a crowd. That's number one. There's going to be a huge crowd. To upstage Pirates, who are the MTN champions, what a way to go. Do you need to motivate those players? That's motivation alone. But I think Pirates will be too good.
Amazulu, Stellenbosch, we have to talk Stellenbosch these days. They're up there with the heavy hitters.
Well, and Amazulu got new coaches. Got an ex-Chiefs legend coaching them there now. So joint coaches. I don't know what this joint coaches story is all about, all these clubs. But anyway, good luck to them. Stellies will get the job done again. I would wait a little bit of time for Amazulu to get used to the coaches. So for me, Stellies.
Quick one now. We've seen an exciting response from the football-loving fans of South Africa to just about anything local so far, whether it's the Champions League, whether it's the league, the cup competitions. We're hoping it continues. The Carling Black Label Knockout will help us continue. It's been a great start to the season. Full stadiums, great games, great matchups, and so on.
Yeah, I do think so. They're going to go all out to promote it. It will be promoted professionally, not that the others are. So I think the full crowds will be continuing, and long may grow on. I love it when you've got a crowd behind you and when you're watching games. Nothing better.
Yeah, certainly has been the most exciting start to a season we've had in recent memory, and like Shane says, long may that continue. Welcome back. Now, as we promised you, as we always do, in the last segment of the show, we've got a special interview lined up with football royalty. I think it's safe to say here in South Africa. A man who played in Germany, Sweden, Belgium, and played here locally, was also part of the 2010 World Cup squad that represented South Africa. That, of course, is Lance Davis. Lance, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on Cape Town. And, well, many haven't seen you in quite some time, but looking back at your career, you achieved so much. Looking back at your career yourself, how would you say you feel having played in various parts of Europe and also played here in South Africa and been part of the international setup for South Africa? Looking back, how do you feel about it all?
Hi, Silver. Thanks for having me on board on your show. Really going to enjoy it. First of all, yes, of course, it was been. If you ask myself, I don't regret anything in my football. Yeah, I think I was a good hard worker and team player for all the teams that I played for. I enjoyed most of my football career. Of course, we had a little bit here and there injuries. but I enjoyed all of it. I was part of the World Cup squad. That was an unbelievable, great, I would say, spotlight of my career in country. So that was really good. And then, of course, my young journey, when I went to Germany when 15, then I went to Sweden. Sweden came back to South Africa, was league champions with Supersport with the Gavin Hunt team. Then after the World Cup, I went back to Belgium. Came back to Ajax, retired Ajax. So if you ask me, I enjoyed every minute of my football career.
That's good to know. Now, you retired in 2015. Some, like myself, would maybe be of the opinion you retired a little bit early, but some will be wondering, what have you been up to since 2015?
Well, if you ask me, yes, people always say I retired early. It was just, a lot of things came into place. I would always say I'm very old school. I was really old school. I came up with like I said, the Mark Byrne, the Gavin Hunt regime. So if you ask me, it's different now than if you asked me to earlier. So, and that was just not, if when your body says no, and just think a lot of things have changed on the field and also off the field. And, when you will know when it's time.
Yeah.
That was for me the time. And then I hang up my boots. And then I was lucky enough to still be in the football world, which I always said. I studied sports management. And that's when I moved on also when I moved back to Belgium, because my wife is from Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved there, and then I became an agent. I worked with Rob Moore, who was my agent throughout my football career. I was lucky enough to join him, and there on I kept on going. I was busy a lot in the American market, European market, as well as the South African market. And 4 or 5 years ago, I moved on with my agent, with myself. Then I moved on, and I'm working closely or partner to Glenn Binker now.
Yep.
So we run up our football agency called Football First. So I've been in the game now for 10 to 11 years. I studied, as I said to you, the sports management. But my biggest dream and goal is still I would like to become part of a football club, as in like assistant or sports directors, because I think I can add a lot of value into a football club, especially with the new generation that we have to adapt to now. And of course, like I said, with my experiences I had around the world.
Now, nice to know that you've been involved in football since you walked away as a player. Many Chiefs fans would have been hoping that Oswin Apollos would sign for them in the transfer window just gone by, or that we're just in. Can you give us some background on what transpired there and how he didn't end up at Chiefs?
Well, I think I did this interview, I think a week ago. I spoke about it because everybody wanted to know. Oswin Apollos was in demand from the beginning. Everyone was talking to him after his Bafana matches. And as I said, Chiefs was pushing from the beginning. From the word go, I would say, when the window opened, they were interested in Apollos. And we just couldn't get the owner was couldn't get hold of him. He just went offline many times, couldn't get hold of him. Junior, Bobby was pushing. I just think at the end of the day Polokwane's owner wanted the money all up front. He wanted a one payment, and I didn't think that Kaizer Chiefs had the capacity to pay the amount that he wanted in a one-off payment. So if you ask me, if the Chiefs fans or anyone that loves Chiefs, I'm sure the whole country loves Chiefs. But at that moment, I just don't think they should be hard on the management, because they were trying to push as hard as they could. It's just that they didn't have the capacity or the financial strength to pay Polokwane's owner in a one-off payment.
All right, Lance, thank you so much for your time. Also, thank you so much for your contribution to the beautifully South African game and to the game at large. And nice to see that you're still involved in the game. Hoping to see you grow in your years following your years as a footballer. Yeah, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much, Ibe, and fantastic. And I'll see you soon.
See you soon.